Good News with Don and Cheryl.
I don't remember any ruins in Narnia.
I wonder who lived here.
I think we did.
I think it's time we found out what went on here.
Who are you?
I am Prince Caspian.
You may find Narnia a more savage place than you remember.
What was the biggest challenge in bringing this portion of the stories to life?
I think really the story itself. You know, this book is not as cinematic as the first one. The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe is a pretty straightforward cinematic story. This is sort of a bit wandery. You know, we start with the Pevensies, they meet Trumpkin, Trumpkin talks about everything that happened, and I wanted a film that was a bit more linear, a bit more visceral.
Yes.
And that meant that just creating that structure was quite challenging.
It was interesting watching with my daughter because she described this film as more fierce. Wasn't that a great word?
Yeah, that's a good word.
The conflict and everything, it was on both sides. Tell
Yes.
me a little bit about trying to capture that, but still create this feeling of being drawn to one group, one side.
Well, it's an interesting thing that it's a more action-based film, definitely, and that's where maybe some of the idea of fierce comes from. I think the darkness in some ways is darker and more relatable. In the last film, the good and the evil were quite symbolic. In this film, they're more human.
I think sometimes when you're watching a film like this and it is epic and big and stunning and amazing, you forget all the things, the little things. So in that battle costume that I'm wearing that looks completely seamless are 100 different layers of a harness which holds my quiver in place when I'm riding a horse, and something which keeps this straight, and something which ties this down. And when we were filming, actually, it was, you know, the middle of summer in Prague. It was pretty hot, and it was sort of, it got to 40 degrees, and you're fighting this battle in these heavy costumes.
Now, Peter's a little bit different this time, isn't he? Tell me about his struggles and what he's going through.
I think the deepest struggle is actually within himself. I think he's very insecure, you know, he's very insecure about this position he was given and it was actually just taken away. So he feels like he has to reinstate himself as the commander, and he does that in a very headstrong, egotistical way.
Prince Caspian? And who are you?
Peter!
Hi, King Peter. I believe you called.
When he meets Caspian, he finds somebody else that wants to be a leader, and he clashes with him, overrides everybody else, you know, just trying to, you know, in this Bolshevist way. So then ends up making a huge mistake and has to learn a very, very important lesson about humility after that.
Yeah, this is home. Now I'm